Hi guys, all right, we are back for language. And if you look, page 182, it's just a simple page today that we're going to work on. We're also going to work on another page just to review what we just recently learned. So I'll tell you that in a minute. But if you look at page 182, you're just listening to a paragraph that I'm going to read to you, and then you're going to fill in the similarities and the differences. So like when there's differences, you're going to write, well, what's different about the inner planets? What's different about the outer planets? You write that on the outside. Then what's similar about them, you write in the inside. So it's like a Venn diagram where these parts are the differences, and then when you come together and that circle that comes together, those are the things that we could say for both. Okay, so this would only be said for inner, this would only be said for outer, but in that inner circle, that's what's said for, it could be either inner or outer planets. And I'll explain that as we go through. But I want to review just really quickly because we're also going to be looking at page 186 and reviewing over our synonyms, antonyms, and homonyms. So we did a little bit of that yesterday when I introduced you to my newest friend, Bella, but Harry. And so we talked about the fact that Sam and David, when we first met them, they were in synonym mode. They were thinking and doing the same. Okay, so synonym means same. They mean the same or similar things, and that's what thesauruses are for. We can look in a thesaurus and find words that mean the similar or same things. Then we talked about antonyms. A couple days later, we saw Sam and David again, and it was just a little bit of a rough day because when Sam was fine, David wasn't, okay? Sam was well and David was ill. Sam was happy and David was sad. Sam was cold and David was hot. Sam felt like it was a smooth day. David felt like it was a rough day. Sam wanted to get wet. David wanted to stay dry. Sam wanted to, I can't even think right now. Oh my goodness. I was going to think of something pretty clever, but I can't think of anything. Or Sam wanted the window open so he, could enjoy. David wanted it closed, okay? So all of these different things that we talked about, they're opposites. They're against. Antonym means against. And so Sam and David were definitely against each other that day, and they couldn't quite get that similarity going with them. And then yesterday we talked about Harry, my Bella. And Harry, because he was hairy, okay, had lots of hair, but also Harry is a name. And so that's where we get Harry from. And then we said homonyms are riddles many times that people use. And so we gave you a couple of riddles yesterday to think about. Well, I'm going to give you a few more today. I told you I would try to think of some more, which I forgot to do, but I'm going to right now think of some so that I can give them to you. All right. So I'm thinking of a pair of homonyms. One is a number, and then the other is something that is past tense of doing the best job at a game. When you win a game, the past tense, okay, I gave you the answer kind of, but one, the number O-N-E, and then won the game, W-O-N. Very good. I am thinking of a pair of homonyms. One is Sir Lancelot. If you were listening to Half Magic, if you don't know Sir Lancelot, then it's something in shining armor. And the other is After Day. Did you get it? Some of you did. Knight and night, okay? So the first one, Sir Lancelot, was K-N-I-G-H-T. He was a knight. And then, or knight in shining armor, and then N-I-G-H-T, night. Which reminds me, and see, this is another reason why I don't like not being in school, because I actually wrote a night story Knight story, where I wrote a bunch of things that were obviously homonyms, and it made students have to try to think which homonyms would be the correct ones. Okay, but anyway, I'm thinking of another pair of homonyms. One is an animal, mammal. The other is the greeting in a letter. Yes, deer and deer. Very good. Deer, D-E-E-R, the animal, and then dear, D-E-A-R, dear whomever is our greeting for our letter. Good job. Good. Let's see. Can I think of another one really quickly? Okay, I'm thinking of another pair of homonyms. One is something you go to the store to do. The other is the opposite, the antonym of hello. Buy and buy. Very good. So you buy, B-U-Y, something from the store, and the opposite, the antonym for hello is bye, B-Y-E, which we'll be saying soon. We won't be saying bye. We'll say so long. We'll see you. You're going to see me because I'm with you in my little flat form. So take me with you on your vacations and all that kind of stuff that you do. So those are homonyms, and they're kind of fun, aren't they? I want you to think of some homonym riddles that you can, try to get me with. If you want to try to see if you can stump me, I dare you. I double dog dare you to try to stump me. I dare you with a homonym riddle. I dare you. You try to stump me. I'm pretty good, so we'll see. But I'm calling you out right now. I'm calling you out. Double dog dare you to try to stump me with a riddle for homonyms. But do it with your family. Make up some fun riddles for I and C and you and you, because Y-O-U and E-W-E, the animal. Piece and peace, like a piece of bread, or peace, P-E-A-C-E. Two and two. Okay, we talked about those yesterday. Just so many words that sound the same when you hear them, but they mean different things. Okay, so that's just an important thing to be able to think through. But they have to sound the same. So think about those carefully. All right. So today's page, or actually, you know what? Let's just do that. Let me just read through 186 for you, since we just reviewed all of that. You can work on page 186 first and get that done, and then go back, pause the video and then go back to 182. We'll do that together. But think A, write a synonym and an antonym for each word. So they give you glad, and then you're going to write a synonym and then the antonym. So synonym under the first line, antonym on the second line for each of the words, okay? Then think B. If the words are synonyms, write S in the blank. If they are antonyms, write A in the blank. If they're homonyms, write H in the blank. Very easy to do. So A, S, and H are what you're going to write. And then I do want you to do this one. Write a declarative sentence using a synonym for the word pupil. And remember, it's not like talking about the pupil of your eye. It's talking about you as a pupil. So that already gives you a hint as to what else you're called. Okay, you're my what. Okay, all right. So do that for page 186, and then turn back to 182. And I want you to focus and listen, because I'm just going to read a paragraph. And all you're doing for Think A is listening to the paragraph about the inner and outer planets, which we already know. We should already have an idea because we learned it in science. Write 2 things about each set of planets under the correct title. So you're going to write 2 things about inner planets, 2 things about outer planets as you listen to the paragraph. Then in the space where the circles overlap and connect with, and over top of each other, write 2 ways that these groups of planets are the same. So you're going to write 2 things as to how they're different, and then 2 ways that they're the same. It can be said for inner or outer planets. And I'll read it and explain some things to you. So Listen carefully. Although the planets in our solar system all orbit the sun, I wonder if that's one of those things that's all the same. Okay, all orbit the sun, they can be divided into two groups. The inner group is made up of Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Remember those? Aw. These planets are made of dirt and rocks. They are similar to Earth. They are also quite a bit smaller than the big planets beyond Mars. Earth and Mars are the only inner planets that have any moons. Between the inner and outer planets is an asteroid belt, a ring of space debris floating like a huge divider. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are all huge planets made up mostly gases. These big planets each have several moons and have rings. Uranus even spins sideways. These big planets have short days but very long years. So there's two things that you could write about that are similar for all of the inner planets. The inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Planets made of rock and dirt, similar to Earth. They're quite a bit smaller than the big planets beyond Mars. Earth and Mars are the only inner planets that have any moons. And then between the inner and outer, there's the debris asteroid belt. Then Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Those are the outer planets, are huge planets made up of mostly gases. These big planets each have several moons and have rings. Uranus even spins sideways. These big planets have short days but very long years. Okay, so you're going to tell just two things about the inner planets, two things about the outer planets, and then in this space where they overlap, you're going to write two ways that they are the same. Okay, what are some things that we could say are the same about them? Two things. Okay, so think that through carefully. All planets have this, all planets have this, all planets have this. So think that through. Now, write B. You're going to finish the paragraph. Write a declarative sentence about telling one way all planets are alike. So you already wrote how they're the same. So write one sentence telling how they're alike. Write a declarative sentence telling something you learned about the inner planets. So write one thing about the inner planets. Then write one declarative sentence telling what you learned about the outer planets. And the topic sentence is already there for you. It already gives you the topic sentence. The planets in our solar system are divided into two groups, the inner planets and the outer planets. Then you're going to write how they're the same. There's something the same. What you know about the inner that's different, and what do you know about the inner, and what do you know about the outer, and then you're done. That's it. Okay, so page 186, reviewing over synonyms, antonyms, and homonyms. Hopefully that'll be an easy page to quickly finish. And then hopefully you were listening carefully. And as you were listening, you can go back and replay this. Replay it and write down the answers for that. And then you're just going to take one of each of those, one sentence from each of those little blanks and write it down there. That's it. Okay. So it's a good review for you over how to write paragraphs and how to look for your topic sentence and write the information. Remember, we don't have to write a ton of information. We just write a little bit. So I'm hoping that will help you next year with Miss Phelan when she gets you writing reports, book reports, and other reports. That will be hopefully a help to you. So review over this carefully, this page, and work hard on it so that it will be a good help. We're done officially with all the new stuff for language. Hey, this elbow bump. Good job, guys. I'm so proud of you. Now it's just review, and we can do that to get through and keep that going. All right. I'm so proud of you. I love you much, and I'll see you in the next video. See you soon. Bye.